Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Oh, that was lovely. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Visalia. And we have a small but hearty group here today. Some of us are still recovering from last night. We'll talk about that later. So I want to turn it over to Reverend Nan to do our praying. So I want to turn it over to Reverend Nan to do our praying. So I want to turn it over to Reverend Nan.
Good morning, everybody. My goodness, I hear that you guys just raised the roof on the house last night, and that's wonderful. So let's just get our service started today by centering into that essence, that divine presence that is within each of us. So if you'll join me as I bless this service, just know that God is right where we are, wherever we may be, that each of us is a unique emanation of the divine, and we come together today in peace and love and joy and harmony, and talking about the most wonderful things to know to create a world that is our joyful world in our own lives, and to share that with others. So I bless this time. I bless everyone here. I bless everyone who helped make this service possible today. And knowing that this is good and very, very good, I let it be, and so it is. And now we've got some opening music with Kevin, and I think Joey is there today, Joey Hernandez, and Phil, if I'm not mistaken, our bass player. So take it away, fellas.
Check, check, check. All right, so as it turns out, I played a wedding last night, and it took its toll on my voice. So I'm going to need a little help with the chorus, probably. I think we all know this one. They wrote it about CSL. And so the chorus goes, where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. If you guys can sing that with me, that'd be amazing. Here we go. Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? All those nights when you got no lights, the check is in the mail, and your little angel hung the cat up by its tail, and your third fiance didn't show. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna go where people know people are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name. Roll out of bed, Mr. Coffee's dead. The morning's looking bright, and your shrink ran off to Europe and didn't even write. And your husband wants to be a girl. Be glad there's one place in the world where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna go where people know people are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
On. All right, guys, that was super. And singers, all right, we're getting good at this. We're singing along. So I'm Donna Orozco. I'm one of the board members, and we're so happy to have you here. And it's not raining, but it's cooler, and it's great. So before we start the official announcements, I have two other announcements. First of all, Stan says we desperately need another tech person upstairs because we know one of these days Stan and Dino are both not going to be able to come in and we won't have a service because I don't know how to do that. I only know the other part and I'm not going to learn their part. So if you know anybody, if any of you are interested, it's fun to be up there on Sunday morning playing with all the knobs and things. So if any of you are interested or know somebody, please let somebody in the office, Reverend Ann, email us, whatever, because we need to find one more person. The other thing we have, last night we had this great event, and we got all this bread, 2 huge bags of soft, wonderful bread from Orangeworks right over here. They happened to be leaving as we were setting up for the barbecue outside, and they gave us these 2 huge bags of bread. They're not enclosed, so we can't give them to anybody official, but we can take them to homeless, or we want you to each take as many as you can use, 2, 3, 10, whatever. There's lots and lots and lots of bread. It's out on the table. So if you have an idea, Rita, good old Rita here, is going to take some of it to some of the parks later. If you got any other ideas of where it could go that would take it and use it, please let her know, but take some yourself. Okay, let's go to regular slides. Oh, I forgot to say, we don't have anybody new. I see us all regulars, so welcome. So, hot August night was last night. Barbecue and sock hop. So this was with our We Arts friends. So we got involved with them when they did their thing over at Arts Visalia, and then we came over and we did Juneteenth here, which was an amazing event. So we're still meeting. We still want to do events to get a multicultural group together. So last night we had a barbecue out in the back, and you can see here, there's Donna feeding herself and other people, other people out there. And then we had people dressed up. Darlene, who I'd never met before, went on Amazon and got this entire outfit, 50s outfit, gloves. I don't know if you can tell, she's got gloves on, bow in her hair. I mean, she was decked. She looked so great. And there were several other people that were really dressed up really nice. And then we started dancing. Now, this was at the beginning of the dancing. So there's Carol dancing with Buddy. And Carol still has the same clothes on. I don't think she changed last night. A little sort of 60s paisley kind of thing. And Buddy, our great person who was always involved with this. There's Florence in the back dancing. And this other woman, who, again, I don't know, she was dancing all night. Florence says she's in her 80s, and she's quite a dancer. So after that, the floor was flooded with people. We were dancing. We were having so much fun. And Steve, thank you, Steve. He could hardly move by the time his day, at least he looked like that, when he finished putting all the tables out and bringing them back in. I know I couldn't move when I got home last night. So we made a little money for the center. We had wonderful music, and they're talking now about having maybe a Halloween event, or somebody wanted I keep forgetting what it's called. The African Americans wanted soul music and something a little more not 60s. The 60s music was great for me, but other people want something. Some of them didn't know. Some of them didn't know who it was. I said, "That's Ricky Nelson. He was on Ozzie and Harriet." And Donna Kay said, "Oh, I think I've heard of him." So the younger people just didn't understand the music. We had a great time. Thanks for all of you who helped. Today is board meeting Sunday. We'll be here in the center at 12 or on Zoom if you want to come in. The link is on our webpage. Find out what's going on, how we're trying to get air conditioning and all these kind of interesting things that we need to do here. So we always enjoy your participation. Okay, our baby contest is almost over. So next week, Gabby and Lynn is going to bring in Jamaica food from that wonderful Jamaica food truck that we often have out here. So you want to sign up. There's a sign up in the back, so she knows how much to get. So sign up if you want some of that. And since I got ice cream for last night, but the We Arts people brought all these great desserts, so we didn't use it. So I'm selling ice cream cups today. We got lots of them. So that's another fundraiser we'll give to the fur babies. So one more week, you can donate online, baby contest, and each baby is listed. You can give as much as you want. We've raised over $1,000, and we'd like to raise a little more because we always need to raise money for this place. And here's the next event coming up. So we need all your participation. We always do the Marjorie Brandon Award in the fall. Last year it was Buddy. So Buddy is going to come and present this year's award to Charlotte Garcia de Rosa, who some of you came when her students came and sang Broadway like you've never heard. She deserves this award amazingly. But an important part, an important fundraising part of this event is our dessert auction. Now, last year, people brought these huge desserts. We have tables for 6. We need mini desserts. So you can see these little mini desserts. We need 15 of them for 15 tables. So you've got a month. So the sign-up, again, is in the back. Please think about it and think about what you want to bring. The more gorgeous they are, the more money they'll bring in. And again, that's an important part of what we do. So we're always doing stuff here. So help us participate. And I will turn it over to Reverend Nan.
Well, thanks so much, Donna. And, let's give Donna a big hand because she does a ton of stuff there, putting these things together. She does our slides. She fixes slides even for other people when they do announcement. Thank you, Donna. You are a gem. So we're on to inclusivity. And our quote today comes from Carol Greening. Now, Carol is a longtime member of our inclusivity and diversity team. And this is a really interesting quote because it comes from an excerpt on unhoused persons. It was an article. And the quote is from an unhoused philosopher named Cowboy. Now, despite the difficult conditions that come with living without a permanent home, Cowboy said he wouldn't change his way of life for anything. And he noted, and I think this could apply to everyone regardless of their station in life, niceness gets niceness. Kindness gets kindness. And respect gets respect. Feel none of those, and you'll never get nothing in life. And I think that Cowboy's got a point well taken there. I like it. We are all at choice to feel kindness and to be respectful and to be nice and to receive that. So our affirmation for today, and I'm doing everything today, Miss Janice was scheduled to come back, and then she had a little upset today, so she's not there. But our affirmation for today is, let's look at it together. I am a spiritual being living my perfect human experience. Let's do it one more time together. You can do that. I am a spiritual being living my perfect human experience. And now it's my great joy to do an opening treatment for the service part of our service, and then we'll move on to some song from the band that you all can sing to. So if you'll join me just coming to center and to spend time in that infinite presence of the one, you can take a soft focus in the room, close your eyes, whatever is most comfortable for you. And whatever name that you associate with in your heart for that one creative presence, that one power through which all life has been formed, all creation has been made manifest. Just bring that to mind now with whatever word I use. So I know that as we come together, what I know for sure is that there is only one power. I know that that power is spirit. I know that it is all that there is. I know that it's love. I know that it is peace and joy and beauty and so much more. I know that I am one with it always. I am an infinite creation of it. And I know that this is true for all of us, whether we are in the sanctuary or in our virtual community, or others, wherever they may be. Every creation is one with all that is. And in this oneness and harmony, I just know that this service is filled with love. I know that this is a time that we lift each other up, that we come together in peace and joy and harmony, and that love always prevails wherever we may be, whatever we may be doing. I know that each person is so blessed and so fully supported in this life. And as we come together now, it's with a grateful, grateful heart, a grateful heart, and joy in my spirit, my very spirit, that I release my word directly into the law of mind that always says, yes, my beloveds, yes. And we may affirm it together by saying, and so it is. And now I'm going to turn it back over to Kevin. And the song that's going to be up there, you all know how to sing. So sing along with him. Give him a little hand there since his voice is a little bit worn today. And I'll be back. Go ahead.
You are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and all I am, and all I do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and all we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and all we are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. It's a blessing to the world. It's a blessing to the world.
Oh, good morning again, and thanks to Donna Williams for giving a little backup to Kevin there. It was beautiful. You know, that's really the truth of who we all are there. So I hope you were singing along with it so that you could remind yourself of that. Now, good morning again, and I am Reverend Nan, and I'm the senior minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Visalia. Just in case this is the first time you're ever out there in our virtual community and watching and wondering who is this person. And a big welcome to everybody in our sanctuary for coming out today. I know you got some storm going on there in Visalia, and we've got some rain here in Florida. So thanks so much for being with us, whether you're in the sanctuary or you're out in our virtual community. You know, this week we're going to continue exploring our monthly theme of My Passion, My Purpose. We've looked at both passion and purpose and how they work together and in opposition. And this week we're going to gain a greater understanding of how our perfectly imperfect passions might be perfect as we pursue our purpose. And in just a minute, we're going to be investigating 3 F words. Yep, I said it, 3 F words that go along with it. Now, right now, I want to remind everyone that Reverend Donna Baranier will be returning next week for the service and wrapping up the monthly theme with y'all. I know you will enjoy her during the service, her message, and of course, she's going to be hosting the Science Mind Chat before service, just like I do. And I am very grateful for the Sunday off every month now, and I rest in joy and ease knowing that Reverend Donna is providing uplifting spiritual guidance and support for y'all. You know, as humans, we have this thing about being perfect. We have to have perfect clothes and perfect hairstyles and makeup and grades and jobs and cars and houses and whatever happens to be what we perceive as the perfect thing in life at the time. And those ideas of human conditional perfection become an albatross when we compare ourselves to those standards and judge ourselves to be falling short of them. And usually that's not just in one way, but boy, we can find a bunch of ways. At least I could. Then we begin to downgrade our value. We mistrust our inspirations and our thoughts. Our critical voices can often paralyze our passions, even though we are divine beings. You know, we all have within us the original pattern of divine perfection, although most of the time we don't feel connected to that or understand it's really there. Instead, we focus externally. We focus on our perceived imperfections. Well, here's the real scoop. We are all perfectly imperfect. As Steve Mirabile said, stop trying to fix yourself. You're not broken. None of us are broken. You're perfectly imperfect and powerful beyond measure. Or as my Auntie Jean would say, approximately perfect. Even so, it's really easy to doubt ourselves and our abilities. And here is our first F word. Ready? Fear. Yep. We're hardwired for fear that has evolved in large part from our survival instincts. Now, as part of the human condition, it's real easy to have a big percentage of our daily thoughts focused on and repeating negative ones, or what we might call the stories of our library of experiences. When we believe that we are not good enough, or that there's a limited supply of anything and there may not be enough for everyone, including us, these thoughts really block our ability to stay open to our inspiration. Most certainly, they can create diversions, even barriers for our manifestations and our ability to do that. And then we fall into the trap of our comparisons, judgments, and defeated self-worth. Finally, we may even give up on anything new we may be inspired to try, be, or do. And now we have our second F word. Ready? Our second F word is failure. Now, I know there's some of you out there right now in the sanctuary who love to dance. And I just want to say that fear and failure are professional dance partners, and they love to show up together. They appear regularly at most of our dismal reviews of choices we have made that did not work out, or didn't come up to what the perfect standard would be. And they like to be the merry-go-round for our thoughts. We have fear, we try something, we judge we didn't accomplish, and we have failure. And around we go. You know, we might take a page from Scott Cook. He's one of the co-founders of Intuit. And you know, I think we're all aware that Intuit is a very, very large software company in this world. You know, they give special awards for the best failure, and they even create failure parties to celebrate them. I think that's a very clever idea. Scott says, every failure teaches something important that can be the seed for the next great idea. An excellent example of that is how many times Edison tried to make a light bulb and how he persisted to work with the seeds of his next great idea for one. 2,774 times to be exact, before he developed a filament that would glow in a vacuum. You know, when we're in a sense of fear of failure, we have pretty much lapsed from the idea that we are always connected to universal intelligence and love. Then we feel like we're traveling this human road alone. The thing is that we're never ever alone. We can always trust that we're always guided to perfect self-expression, and we can learn to lean into greater self-acceptance. Part of that understanding comes from us learning our third F word. Ready? Forgiveness. A deep and successful spiritual practice is formed when we begin to forgive ourselves, circumstances, and choices. Forgiveness is a huge step to finding a place of self-acceptance. I've talked a lot about forgiveness in the past 2 years because it's so valuable. Oh, we may resist it. We may have ideas about it that make it seem like it is something we have to do to and for others, even though we have been injured or hurt by their words or actions. The forgiveness I'm talking about right now is completely directed towards ourselves. It's the forgiveness of our judgment, our comparison, and our devaluing of our worth in our own mind and our thoughts. The forgiveness for that which we did not know. Every spiritual growth we endeavor to experience is always, always an inside job. And true forgiveness has to start within us first by letting go of our criticality about our perceived imperfections. Then we can move on to our habits of finding and dwelling on the perceived imperfections of others. And with awareness, we can practice a deeper level of forgiveness of others. I really enjoy Evan Hodkin's book, The School of Alchemy. It's really an interesting piece. He has a great sense of humor laced with spiritual principles and inspiration. He writes about our human foibles and forgiveness this way. Earthlings come loaded with intolerable quirks. Only to the degree that I manage amnesty in the midst of peevishness can I ever hope to forgive when it really matters. We pardon pervasively every livelong day and many times without the awareness that we're even doing so. But we have to in order to get along. Truth is, we simply couldn't make it through an average day if we didn't come to terms with imperfections. Without creative overlooking, irritations would surely get the best of us. And never a truer thing was ever uttered. God is in the details. Oh yes, eventually with persistence we shall become forgiveness itself. And when that level of spiritual achievement is realized, no amount of grouchiness shall ever mangle our tranquility. I like that. I prefer my tranquility unmangled. When we recognize our infinite connection with spirit, we can lean into the spiritual reality of never being separated from universal intelligence and love. Recognizing we're not alone, we learn to trust in our experiences. We know that current conditions do not reveal the truth of the situation. They only show us the results of our past thinking, allowing us to make corrections along the way. As we trust our spiritual connection and align with it, we're guided in the directions we need to take. We begin to step out of our comfort zone and open to growth and expansion. We begin to recognize imperfection as part of the totality of Spirit's creative expression that's occurring through us. One of my esteemed colleagues, Reverend Scott Aubrey, notes this. Imperfection is not a sign of the absence of God. It is evidence of an ongoing creative process, which includes both perfection and imperfection. We must not be afraid to take that first step in realizing that our dreams are valid and have a purpose for existing. The universe delights in expressing itself as us, and it offers guideposts to follow along the way. We just need to trust the process and affirm that everything is working out for our highest and best good. Everything unfolds according to our belief systems as a natural outcome of our thoughts. When we broaden our expectations to celebrate our quirks, unanticipated surprises lie just on the other side, and those surprises are good. The seed of perfection is growing as us. Only our judgments can block its unfoldment. And no matter what we think, Spirit sees us as whole, complete, and perfect. There's no judgment, no criticality, and no negative rhetoric to deteriorate our value. Perspective gives us a great opportunity to see the perfection in all events and creations. We often judge the outcome or take score too soon when the manifestation has yet to be revealed. And then we go, oh, I don't think it's working. Well, we don't dig up seeds to see if they're growing, do we? It's the same with this. Our human perspective is often limited. And when we look closely at an intricate tapestry, we might believe that it is a mangled mess of yarn and fabric, making no sense or design whatsoever. It isn't until we step back and view that tapestry from a little distance that we discover the bigger picture, and we can see how everything is woven together in a perfect pattern. The tapestry of our lives, our passions, and purposes doesn't need to be compared to anyone else's either. It's individually unique to each of us and the divine spark within us that is our spiritual essence. Can't ever be damaged, can't be removed or harmed, and it knows the purpose and reason behind every thread and color that runs through the tapestry of our life. Because we have free will, and we're always free to make a new choice, it remains ours to decide if and how long we want to keep living in the idea of unworthiness or comparing ourselves to others. We're each blessed with a divine seed that's waiting to sprout. There's no separation. And when we belittle ourselves, we're actually belittling the spirit that created us and diminishing the power inherent within us. Stepping into the knowing that each passion we have is assisted with a perfect pattern, activated at birth, we can do anything. We can be anything. We are never, ever bound by decisions that we made before. Every time we make a life-affirming choice, we are assured of success. The universe expands by playing and creating through our unique, perfectly imperfect human form. Dr. Holmes states, if the spiritual universe were not perfect, it could not exist for a single moment. The truth is indivisible and whole. God is complete and perfect, and we're made of that same stuff. So this week, I invite us to be non-judgmentally become observers and just be aware of what stories we continue to tell ourselves about our challenging experiences in life. What events turned out better in life than we originally expected? And what are we telling ourselves daily about our worth and value? When we find a reaction that we usually make that makes us think less of ourselves, we can spend time in mindful meditation and practice a new reaction to the old story. You know, contemplative reading is a great tool to change the channel of I'm no good to I am a unique individuation of God. Now, do you see how one little O makes a big difference there from no good to God within? Let's practice forgiveness for small things and strengthen our forgiveness muscle to work up to the large things. And I invite us to contemplate this thought from Richard Rohr this week. You know, we are not all weeds, but we are not all wheat either. We have to learn, even now, to accept and forgive this mixed bag of reality in ourselves and in everybody else. Let's treat ourselves to the kindness, compassion, and love that we might reserve only for others. Let's shower ourselves with it and feel it. When we remember, we originate from a source that is only love, that in the very center of our being, we are only love. We can choose to be that love. Start in small ways every day to be the love that you are. Because, as I always say, love prevails. And so it is. And so I'm just going to speak a word affirming that love. I'm going to lift that love up high in each and every one of us, wherever we may be. I'm going to lift that love up high into the reality of expression through all creation. I'm going to lift that love up wherever it's needed. I'm going to hold that light so high that it shines throughout all creation. And in so doing, all of us are lifted up and all of us are shining brighter. And in this moment, love truly does prevail. And as I bless each and every person with great love, I know that everyone here goes through the rest of the week in joy, in peace, in harmony, and in love. And so it is. And now we're going to sing another little song. Kevin's going to do it for you. We'll see how it works here, and then I'll be back.
How could anyone ever tell you you're anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you're less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you're anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you that you were less than whole? How could anyone ever notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you that you're anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you that you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Oh my goodness. You know, I just truly love that song because it is such a beautiful piece. Everyone is beautiful, and we are all connected so very, very deeply to each other and everything else. And so it's time for our conscious giving affirmation. And now we'll get that up on the screen and we can share it if you'd like to take your gift. Let's say it together because this is the time we give great gratitude for our abundance, our prosperity, and our ability to share that. So our affirmation for today is I'm so grateful that every gift I share is perfectly supporting a world that works for all. Ready? Let's do it together again in case we didn't get it that time. I'm so grateful that every gift I share is perfectly supporting a world that works for all. I like that thought, a world that works for all. It's one of our visions, it's one of our global values. So you can send as the ushers collect the gifts, you can send yours to Center for Spiritual Living Visalia at 117 South Locust Street. And that's Visalia 93291. You can donate online and you can make that electronic donation. And we're very grateful for all these gifts that keep us going. So I see that we have the gifts in order. It's great. I get to see a little bit of the downstairs there when things are happening. Dino keeps me all tuned in so that things don't get too clunky. And I see now that Donna has the gifts, and let's just bless those gifts. Just know that from the love of pure spirit, these gifts have been brought forward through every person here and wherever they may be. And I bless them. Oh, I bless them so much, for they are the gifts of love. I know that they return to the giver 100-fold or more. I know they do good work in our community, in our center, and in the world. And for this, I am so very, very grateful. And so it is. And now it's time for the peace song. So if y'all want to get up and get around in a circle down there, we can do that. And there you all are. It's so
With God as creator, united all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me, and this is the moment now. With every breath I take, this is my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Now there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me.
time for our benediction. If you're ready, you can say along with me. Something wonderful is happening through my life right now. It is this thing called life. I already said that. Well, that's okay. We'll say it again. It's a wonderful life. Yes. Something wonderful. And it is life, this thing called life. I think it. I feel it. And I love it. It's in my mind. It's in my body. It's in the body of my affairs. And I love it just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. And together we can say, thank you, life. And I'll see you in September. Have a great week, everybody. Stay safe.